I continue with section 6.3 to see how rank dependence can capture a risk attitude. Now I ask a question to you: how will we define pessimism? It will be through the decision weight. So here is the rank probability and the decision weight of it, a property of this function that would define pessimism. You can now pause the video and think about what your answer would be. Which property of this function would capture pessimism? So now pause the video. Okay, I assume you now thought about it and you made up your mind to the extent you want. Well, maybe if you didn't find it, I'm going to give you a hint. And the hint is that we want to capture, of course, the novelty of rank dependence to do this new phenomenon. That novelty is dependence on the rank. So how does this decision weight depend on the rank? And what kind of dependence of that kind would give pessimism? That's the question. You can pause the video one more time with this extra hint and think what your answer would be. Okay, I thought you made up your mind to the extent you want. Then now I give you the answer. The answer is this dependence should be that this decision weight is increasing in R. Now, why is that? Well, pessimism means that you have much attention, maybe over attention to the worst, to the bad outcomes. And then the bigger R gets, the bigger the rank, that is the worst the outcome. The bigger the rank, the worse the outcome. So if this is increasing in R, that means the worse the outcomes get, the more attention you pay to it. And that is indeed what the psychological concept of pessimism means. So indeed, this is how we formally, mathematically, we define in rank-dependent utility pessimism as this function being increasing in R. And I think that captures the psychology of it. Now, of course, we can ask the same question about optimism, the opposite of it. You can pause the video how dependence of that would capture it. I assume it will be quite obvious, but okay, you stop the video, you think about it. And I assume now you come back, you made up your mind, and of course that is the opposite, that is decreasing in R. So then you have the bigger R gets, the worse the outcome, the less attention you pay to it, because we pay more and more attention to outcomes if they are good, if they are favorable. So it's the opposite of pessimism. But that's how it goes. So that's the easy way how rank dependence can capture psychological aspects of risk attitude. Here, now I'm going to rewrite it a bit. So here I repeat the definition of pessimism, this being increasing in R. Here I write the definition. That means then, by definition, that this difference is increasing in R. So if you look at the interval of length P, then how much W increases over it, that is increasing in the left point R of the interval. And that means that's one of the many ways to define convexity, is a graph of it. If you take an interval of length P, the more you move it to the right, the more increase of W you have on it. In terms of derivative, this is equivalent to the derivative of W being increasing. And those are the many kinds of ways that you can define convexity of a function. And of course, the optimism is the same thing, but then it's concavity. And here is the graph. And again, the more here now, if you take an interval of length P, the more you move to the left, so the more you go to good outcomes, the bigger the increase over the interval becomes. So this was one example, another example how rank dependence can capture in a psychologically plausible way human attitudes to its risk, and this is going to be continued.